Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Phil. How are you doing tonight, Phil? And what were you drinking with that amazing, sound?
Some sort of Czech
Ooh,
Czech
Czech
vibe.
lager. Is it? Oh, it's probably very high
Ooh.
percentage, isn't it?
It
I would imagine
is
8%.
no 5.
5?
Oh, ugh.
5? How dare they? Well, if it's
Wow.
your first time here on Reality Realness, well, then welcome. Hopefully, I don't know if you've had this beer that Phil's having before, but let us know how you feel about it right after you subscribe. Please subscribe, join the family, join our squad of people that love talking about reality TV. But I don't particularly love talking about reality TV that much today. But we will go to the episode and then we will find out why I'm so
Why?
depressed.
Oh.
So what were your overall thoughts on the episode, Phil?
Confusing.
Ooh,
Confusing.
what confused you?
Confusing on game decisions that people made. Specifically one person who I think has made a bad move based on the game. I think we're going forward in the next couple weeks. So, Tiffany, I'm worried for her. So,
Yeah, that's why I'm
yeah.
sad here. Hi, BB. Yes, let's do this. Hi, Sheena. Thank you for being here. We should be wearing a black veil or something like that. I'm in a little bit of mourning here. I really don't like what's happened this week at all. So to catch everybody up, as to why Phil is not happy with Tiffany's gameplay, we go back to the head of household competition. And this is where they're all on these spinning discs at a circus with bubbles and they're getting paint thrown at them or whatnot. And the plan seemingly is to have Alyssa go home and that either Big D or Ozza were going to win this HOH because that would be the easiest for them to be able to get Claire or Alyssa out of the game. They have least connections to them, and they also haven't won a head of household competition. So Big D is out before the commercial break comes back. So he was never going to be able to be thrown that competition. Then after 6 minutes, Alyssa gets really dizzy. She drops. After 18 minutes, Claire drops. She had to drop because she was the secret HOH. And so she wasn't allowed to be HOH back to back, which I also think they should have just let her play because it's a secret. So
it's a secret.
Why are you being like, you know what? Our twist kind of sucks. So because you fell into the trap and thought the twist was good, we're gonna make you still have to follow through with the fact that you can't win again. It's like, no, your twist is stupid.
Yeah.
I should be able to play again to really make it people not know who was the HOH. So I was irritated by that, but she was out after 18 minutes. 19 minutes was Hannah. 21 minutes. I have to roll my eyes because after these last 4 days, I am done with Xavier. No matter how good looking he is, I literally can't stand him anymore. I can't. I did the live feed updates with Taryn yesterday, and so I had to watch all the feeds from Friday night. And since Friday night, he has not stopped complaining. Not once. Not a breath, no complaining about selfish. When he just wants it to go his way, which is also very selfish. But anyways, I'm done with Xavier. I'm over him completely. And then
I did find when he dropped, his reason, he was saying, I'm dropping for a selfish reason. He's like, I'm dropping for myself. I'm going to drop. I don't need to win this one. So then for him to turn it around and be like, I don't like that people are playing their own game. Well, you were playing your own game. You said it in your comment. I dropped for myself.
Absolutely. And if it was going to be beneficial for him to win, he would have won. Right. And he would have dealt with the repercussions of it. So the fact that he's playing the martyr here, oh, woe is me. I'm the only person that does anything for this alliance. I'm like, you know what? Shove it. Because you throwing all these competitions for the whole season because you're just playing for the cookout. It's like, No, you're doing this for yourself. You're trying to make
They
yourself,
should be.
which is fine. But like,
Yeah.
don't
But
play
don't
smarter.
pretend you're not. Yeah, yeah. They all should be. We're at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Play your own game.
I'm just so frustrated. Okay, Vivian, I do not understand Phil's background and how it relates to today's episode. See, Phil?
Doesn't.
I told you
Doesn't.
people were going to be confused. I asked
I used this for something else today. I had no reason. I was like, I don't have time. I gotta get my drink. We gotta get into this. I'm so
tonight?
Depressed.
What's happening?
It's a vigil right now for Tiffany.
Oh, yes. Child, Tiff, you in trouble, girl. Yes, she's in danger, girl. Hi, Sophie. Thank you for being here. Okay, Tiff's Sarah Game song was funny, but a little bit of a low jab. LOL. Yes. Okay. Like, with knowing what's going on this week, like I hated seeing all this stuff because I'm like, oh, you're not in a good position anymore, Tiffany. So you can't be cocky like this anymore because you are screwed.
She is. Screwed. So I guess the positive for her was I want to have something under my belt. I've won an HOH. I want to have something to talk about. But this was her plan, was telling people we're going to put people up against their partners. We're all okay. There's no problem. There's no drama. And then when it came to her time to do it, she didn't do it.
Well,
so that's only going to work for a week.
They didn't show this on the feeds, but it was pretty much only the guys that wanted Claire out, and the girls more so wanted Alyssa out. Okay. But they were convinced by the guys that like, we'll just do Alyssa first, kind of thing. And so it wasn't like a unanimous decision, really. It was like, okay, well, like Alyssa will go or Claire, but like, you know what I mean? It was still kind of either or, but for the guys, it was 100% going to be Alyssa because that's what Xavier wants. And for Tiffany, she was kind of like, well, like if Claire has to go, she has to go. But like it's for her, it was just either or. It was Claire or Alyssa. And so that was also, and it's annoying because Xavier is saying that she's being selfish, but he's being selfish at the same time by not wanting his partner to be nominated. And the fact that he's like, I'm going to have to go up a 4th time. 2 of those times, one was by chance, by a stupid twist that he got rolled up onto the block. And then he got taken down, but he chose a punishment that was going to be for him to go up on the block as a 3rd nominee. He chose that. He decided on that. And then what was the 3rd time? Why was he up there a 3rd time? Oh, because that's when he had to take the punishment. Right? Is it 3? And this would be the 4th time? Or no, this is the 3rd time. Whatever. He's complaining about it.
The wheel, the punishment. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's never actually been not. I don't think you.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm feeling awful. Everybody's getting mad. They're like, there's no background.
Oh my God, we bullied Phil into changing his background to the poor Bubbles.
This is the type of Big Brother player I would be. Just people like completely, you should do this. You should do, okay, fine.
Thank you, though. It looks great. So the thing is, though, too, with how the competition went, I think Tiffany, so there's a few reasons why Tiffany wanted, so the one selfish one, she knows that Claire has to go, but she'd rather Claire go next week. That's a fine desire to have. Like, both of those two people want their partner there for next week. And we get it on both ends. Like, it makes sense. You want to be put in the best position, have somebody else that's playing for you. Like, we get it. So Claire didn't want to have a Kyland HOH again. Okay, that would be his 3rd HOH that he's had for the season. Mm-hmm. And they don't enjoy his HOHs. They've been like cringing over the fact that like he just takes them on these one-on-one meetings and talks their ear off and talks to them in circles. Like, she was already dreading the idea of having a Kyland HOH again. And so that was another thing. So she'd be having a Kyland HOH. She would be sending home her ally, and like, but then she also wanted to make history in a sense where it's like, well, I'd be the only person that's ever had 2 back-to-back head of households. Like, that was tempting too. And maybe she could save her friend in this situation. So there was a little bit of selfishness. There's a little bit of like, oh my God, I really don't want to go through that having a Kylan HOH. If Kylan had dropped before Azza had dropped, I bet you 100% Tiffany would have dropped.
That's right. Yeah. I was wondering that. I was like, I think what I was shocked about was, I guess obviously Tiffany wanted both guys to drop before her just to prove that they would.
Yes.
So I guess
she wanted Kylan to drop before Azza did. And then she would have. Yeah. And when it was just her and Kylan, she was just like, oh my God, I don't want to go through that. And neither did we. I didn't want to go through it. His head of household weeks are the worst. They're very, like, the way that he talks in circles, I'm like, I feel like I'm a pretty smart person. And I understand strategy and gameplay. And like, I'm just like, it gives me a headache trying to figure out, because he starts one direction, then he goes in another direction, then he goes another direction, and he never ties everything back together. It's just like all these thoughts that are just all over the place. I'm so worked up. So worked up.
Oh my gosh.
So Sophie thought Phil's background is supposed to relate to the episode.
Well, it is now.
Wow, you're getting close to getting the YouTube plaque. Oh, you're right, Sophie. At 10,000 subscribers, I will get like a real cool plaque or something from YouTube. That's true.
Hey, that's a podcast episode.
Oh my God. Dun, 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 dun. The thing is, though, it hasn't really translated that much into like viewership because it's all from that viral video that I have on my reels. It has like 10 million views, but like it doesn't matter because it's like an Elon Musk video that like it's not really the people that come for reality realness. So it's like, it seems like I have a lot of.
Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. Don't worry. I know it. Everybody's watching.
Everybody. I am done. Yes. Hashtag. Start a new hashtag. Forget Kylan complains. Have you seen that hashtag, Phil? Kylan complains.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes.
I want a new hashtag to be Xavier whines. Xavier complains. Xavier's the martyr. Like, roll my eyes. Done. Yes, BB. Hashtag I am done with Xavier. Done. Like, I can't even hear him anymore. Wow. I didn't even want to watch the episode because I didn't want to hear him. So she just says, yes, X is definitely getting on my nerves. See? And Big D, don't even get me started about Big D. Whew, please send him back to Philly ASAP. Yes, Sheena, he needs to go. He needs to go. Phil, he is just going on all the time about how he has done everything for the cookout. He started the cookout. He named the cookout. He's the only one that's doing anything for the cookout because he was on the block twice where he was never getting voted out. Like, what other thing has he done except for Heavy Breathe? I don't know what he's done for the cookout.
He was in that bedroom the whole time for the cookout. The cookout.
Absolutely.
Just he stayed in that bedroom. He laid down on that couch.
Laid down.
Better than anybody this season. How dare you, Chantele?
Get out of here. Chantele Xavier, shove it. Yes, BB. I'm so mad. Oh, BB forgives you, Phil. All right, Phil's background should have been Bubbles the Elephant. There it is. Dun, dun, dun.
That's why I did it.
I'm catching up.
For you, Sheena.
Yes, I never understand the hate for Sarah Beth. Hi, Anna. Thank you for being here. I think if we look at what's happened last night, it could have been a pure jealousy thing. Because I don't know if you've seen this, Phil, but I don't know where my phone is. Maybe, let me
You've got lots of stories. You found stuff out.
Who, me? Let me see if I can find this particular one. Where would I find it? I'm talking about something while I look something up for you guys to see.
Well, I mean, I wasn't a huge Sarah Beth fan, so I can't say that I was like overly. I don't know. I kind of got it. Like, she seemed to be. Actually, she was somebody who was trying to play the game, and I appreciate that. But it was just, that's not what this season's about.
No. I mean, I think, why are you laughing?
Because it just sounds so funny to say it, but it's true. That's not what this season's about. Like, don't worry about playing your own game. This is about something else. Bigger than playing Big Brother.
which is really frustrating. Okay, hold on. Let's pull. Which one's better?
It's good and it's fun to watch. Like, I mean, it is. It's fun to watch
Today,
how
like
this
this
all
week, is
turned
like
out.
a mess right now. Okay,
But we wanted this. We did want this to stir up a little bit. We wanted to see what would happen.
We did. What I really wanted. Well, we'll be able to talk about it after. Actually, we'll just show this.
Yeah.
So this is last night, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, are you ready?
Is there spoilers? No spoilers.
I don't think so. Can you see
gosh.
this?
Okay.
Do you know who that is? Can you see who that is?
Who is that? Is that Asa?
No, it's Kyland and Tiffany cuddling.
Oh. Wow. All right.
And like apparently there's another one. Like look at that. Wait, sorry, we gotta see that again. That's like boyfriend stuff. Right? Caressing his face while he's spooning you.
My goodness.
So
sign me up for the feeds. I'm watching.
So I'm
finally gonna pay for them.
If the hate is because she was getting, so at one point Tiffany and Kylan were pretty like together all the time when they were still part of the Queens, and so they were doing a lot of strategizing. Kylan was her number one. She was going to go to the end with Kylan no matter what. And then he started developing an even deeper connection with Sarah Beth, and so it could be a little bit of jealousy creeping in, her like not understanding like her having a partner outside of the house if she's still like this close and cuddling with Kylan. And so I think that she started just kind of girl jealousy type stuff because she wanted Kylan a little bit, maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe.
My goodness.
Wait, what would have been good? Oh, wait.
Yes, that would have been elephant background. Oh. The elephant background. Listen, I know Big Brother happened, Chantele, but we're more worried about this background tonight.
I honestly, it's just because I'm like 10 minutes behind on the comments. Okay, so are you still doing spoilers because tip position has changed since this episode? Yes, I do. We'll do the spoilers right after. I'm almost. I mean, we're not really sticking to the plan here, but once we get through the episode, then we'll just talk about all the stories and what's going on now. Hashtag Xavier is a hypocrite. Yes, get that trending. Please.
What about X marks the hypocrite? Would you like that?
X marks the hypocrite is like, yes. Oh. Okay, why did they not throw it to Azza? Has that been discussed? And so I think the fact that Azza fell a little bit earlier than, like, if she stayed on like 5 minutes longer, they could have been like, hey, Carlin, drop and I'll drop. You know what I mean? Like they could have done it, but Azza really just fell. She fell in 23 minutes. Like this was an endurance comp, so they were expecting to maybe going around for a lot longer, make it look a little bit legit. I mean, you're trying to like not out the cookout, but like everybody's dropping like flies after 20 minutes. No,
was she fourth or third?
She was
left
third. Like there's three of them left. Yeah,
and she dropped. So like I mean, everybody was like throwing it in some ways.
Well, exactly. It's not like they were on for a terribly long time. And I don't know. I can't really throw things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I also understand the compulsion in the end being like, oh my God, I can actually win this. Like, do I want to throw it even though it's something that I can win? Some people don't have it in them to throw something. And even if it's going to be to the detriment of their game, sometimes it's just not in them to do it. It's a game where you're supposed to be winning and you want to win the power and you want to do these certain things. And so it's just really, it's frustrating, I'm sure, for Tiffany because she's like, I just want to play my game and I want to win and I want to like experience Big Brother how I want to experience Big Brother, but I have to have all these 5 people who I don't even get along with dictate how I like whether or not I win a competition. Like I'd be so pissed.
Who are probably going to vote her out.
Absolutely. She's out next or right after.
Like, I feel like the writing's on the wall, Tiffany. Like, you know what you need to do. People are going to get angry, but, you're there for yourself.
Oh, BB says, feel sorry. We didn't mean to pressure you. Hope you forgive us. Exactly. Ozza fell too quickly.
Too
If
fast.
Ozza was
Yep.
there for 10 more minutes, 5 more minutes, just a little bit longer, they would have ended up dropping like for her. But it's kind of like they're going around, they're assessing it, and then she falls. And it's like, oh, damn it. And then Tiffany did not want Kylan to win over her. That's just it.
Too bad that challenge didn't take place when there was like the 6 left or something, because then I feel like people would have been fighting for it more and they would have like stayed on, right? Like, I mean, I hate when this doesn't happen. Oh my goodness, what's happening?
Lorenzo, I mean, I think that she would have dropped if Kylan had dropped. I think that really she was waiting out Kylan and would have dropped if he had dropped. She didn't want him to win it. And if Ozza had stayed a little bit longer, she might have convinced him to drop, then she would have dropped, and then it would have been fine. But like I'm still team Tiffany. So Lorenzo, is your team like Xavier, like, or Big D? I'm just like,
hey, he's in my draft. Xavier's still my only draft pick. I'm okay with him going further.
BB says it's great to see me so excited about the season again. I mean, I am riled up. But it's just nothing's going the way that I want it to go. It's like, okay, if I'm just going to give in to the fact that it's going to be the cookout in the 6th, which is fine. I get the mission. I get what they're there to do. I totally respect it. Absolutely. But like, I don't like how Big D and Kylan and even Xavier are even talking about her.
Yeah.
Like they're being so like nice to her face and then just so nasty behind her back. And it's actually very icky. Like the way that they're speaking to in the diary room, as opposed to the way that they're speaking to her. She doesn't even know how much she's hurt them or how much she's disappointed them or whatever feelings that they're having. They're just like being super nasty behind her back. And then when they're talking, they're like, oh, you know, I totally get it. Like they're being super agreeable. And like, sure, you can say that's playing the game, but I say it's playing two-faced. And I don't really respect that. Because they're trying to play like, oh, I'm such a good person and I've been throwing my whole game away and I'm the only person doing anything for this alliance and maybe now I'm going to start playing nasty. And it's like, well, you're kind of talking pretty nastily about somebody that you're pretending to be nice to.
Yeah. I just feel like she just the talk that they were making about X and Tiff throwing it, I actually kind of feel like that was probably the smartest thing to do because of any types of situations that could happen. Like,
wait, say the beginning part again.
So, well, like, I know when they were all talking, and I know that you're saying that it was mainly the guys that were on board with it, but they're like with Claire. But when they were talking and they were saying, like, look, it's better that X and Tiff don't win, because anything could happen this week with the veto or whatever. And so somebody might be put into a situation where they're going to have to put up their partner and screw up their game in some ways. And yeah, I think like I got the vibe that they were all sort of understood why that needed to happen.
But this is the thing too, though. Like, so that's fine. You know, that like, because it would be very hard for Xavier or Tiffany to end up having to put up their person. So they kind of also, not from how they showed in the video, in the episode, but they kind of made it seem also like, well, would you really be willing to do that to your partner, right? And so Tiffany's also saying that, like, do you know what though? I'm willing to put up my partner if I like that was the stipulation in her mind as to like, oh, I won't win this one because I don't want to be put in that position. But she's like, you know what? I want to take that risk. And if I'm put in that position, I will deal with those consequences then. And so it shouldn't be this like horrible betrayal if she's still willing to do what she said that she was going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is Big D still saying what he was saying a couple weeks ago about Tiffany? Like, is that still going on?
Like loser. I will get to more Big D. So Vivian agrees with me about Kylan. Vivian walks away thinking I am my stupid. Yes. It's like, what's happening here? Like, trying to like keep track of it is very challenging. Hi, Natalie. Yes, Xavier needs to calm down. He needs to sit down. Sophie says Claire and Tiffany going during the double
Could
this week.
be.
Probably, to be honest, because well, we'll get to it. DF thinks he's a puppet master like Raven Walton. Yeah, the delusion.
And are we saying that there was something wrong with the way Raven played?
Delusional. I don't know who's is just making out with all the fine ladies this season. Kyland. So Kyland, I guess he's using his good looks and his charm to his advantage.
Strategy.
I mean, use what you got. Use what you got. I don't mind Kylan making out with everybody. I think that's totally. I'd rather him make out with people than talk. So maybe that's what Tiffany's like. Let's not have a strategy conversation. How about we just cuddle? If they're doing a winter season of Big Brother, they should announce it on the season finale of Big Brother in a few weeks. Where did this rumor come from? I've heard it a couple times, but I haven't heard it in any like news source.
I actually thought I read something saying there wasn't going to be but I guess usually it's in September when they make that announcement of what they're doing in January. So
yeah, it would be. I'm not sure when they would let us know. Maybe September. I guess maybe on the finale. But I don't think they would tell us now.
I would rather, if they do that, I'd rather them. I know that not a lot of people liked it, but I did. I'd rather them bring the celebrity one back.
Yeah, I love the celebrity one. It was silly. The celebrity one. Yeah. It was like I love seeing like C-list celebrities, like playing this game that I love, and I find it fun. Yeah, Anna saw this Tiff and Kai thing, explained the SB hate a little bit. Yes, exactly. Exactamundo. Even if Tiff's crush was subconscious. Exactly. So she might not have been like wanting to admit it. But there's one time, like there was this guy that like I wasn't even interested in him, but we were like best friends at work. And so we would always just like joke around, and we were bartending together, and we just like would always plan all of our shifts together. And then this new girl started to work, and he just stopped paying me attention. And like I got jealous, and I didn't want to be in a relationship with him, but like, wait, we're supposed to be hanging out and having fun. Like, now you're hanging out with her, like, whatever. And so I think I get where Tiffany's coming from, where you used to get the attention from somebody, and then if their attention is focused on someone else. Right. And even if it's not in a romantic sense, like, it's like the energy of the attention and, like, you know, your relationship, your vibes. So.
All right. Well, I'll don't worry. You've got my attention.
Well, I'm sure you've experienced that before when you're just like, hey, what happened to us?
Yeah.
Right? That's why you have to be very careful in alliances, is that you like give everybody equal amount of attention so that like they don't notice if something changes. Okay, so isn't Tiffany a lot older than Kylan? Yes, probably like 13 years older than Kylan.
Go for it.
Ooh, to me, Maury could do it with.
We're adults.
I was just about to ask about Kai Tiff. I heard hands were involved. Well, we apparently one hand wasn't accounted for, so of Kylan's. So we never could see one particular hand, and there was movement in the infrared lighting.
Ooh. Something was happening. Maybe it was a puppet show.
I think we'll talk. Tiffany turned 41 or 42. Was she 41 to start or 40? But she just had a birthday.
I thought she was 40.
Oh, and Kylan just also had a birthday, correct. Yeah. But yeah, Tiffany wasn't 39. She was at least 40 or she was 41 when she went into the house. Yeah. I can't remember at this point. Tiffany is fine, so I don't blame Kylan. Absolutely. Kylan, I think she's gorgeous and she's fun, and I would be so excited to play Big Brother with a person like Tiffany. That is my ideal person to strategize with and have fun with the game with, and it's just being wasted on the cookout and like getting to just like I can't do anything. What's best for the group? You know what I mean?
It sucks. Like I know last week I was like, I hope she comes back for an All-Star. But now people know that she's a game player. She's a game player in a game right now that's not even being played. Which sucks. Like, cause I think she is one of the strongest game players in the house.
in the house, and probably ever. Like, there's not ever, but like up there with like people that are very good at the game.
Yeah, it's refreshing to see. It's so nice.
And she's just getting stifled, and she's no respect from those guys in the house. There's like no respect. No. And it says, I never understood why Ozza hated Whitney, but not Alyssa. Is Alyssa just that likable? Any insight? Well, I think Alyssa was always into Christian, so she wasn't competing for Xavier's attention. And Xavier has said that he's not really interested in Ozza. So I don't think she likes Alyssa or cares for her that much, but I think they also did make amends at some point in the last couple of weeks. But like, Alyssa's not interested in Xavier, and Xavier hasn't said, I don't think, to anybody in the house that he's interested in Alyssa. He's just like googly eyes over her in the diary room. What do you think?
I haven't really been paying much attention to Ozza because I've kind of found her kind of boring in the house.
Same with Lorenzo. Lorenzo finds Ozza to be terrible. Unfortunately, she's just a number, not a true player. And they didn't show this in the episode, but on the feeds, in the conversation that Tiffany has with Ozza, you know, Tiffany's like asking how she feels about the fact that she did the HOH, and Ozza's like, well, you know, I didn't earn it. I came to terms with like the fact that like if it was meant for me to win, I would have won it. And so they were talking about all these other things, and Ozza she's like, the only thing that I want to do other than the 6, the only thing that I want to do in this game is I want to take out Kyland. That's all that I want to do in this game. And she's like, I'm not having anybody else go before Kyland out of the 6. It has to be Kyland. And Tiffany's like, well, I really would love for me, you, and Hannah to work together and like make us like make there be a female winner. And she's like, well, like, yeah, I'm into that, but Kyland has to go first. She's like, when Tiffany's like, well, I think that Kyland needs to stay in order for us to get the 3 women to the end. And she's like, she won't even listen. She's like, well, we just have to agree to disagree, or whatever she said. Oh, okay, well, like, I don't, we have to agree to disagree. And so she won't play the game and strategize and help Tiffany get her to the end. She wants to go after Kyland, and it's probably not in Ozza's best interest to take Kyland out right away because Kyland's coming for me. And she's like, no, he's actually not really. Anyways, so Ozza just, she doesn't have any desire to win the game. And that's
I kind of feel like she's going to be like I get the vibe that Derek F is her number 1, like in her mind of who she'd like to go to the end with. I don't know if that's the best decision for her, but I feel like just with like how protective they were, the 2 of them were with Brittany, like I just feel like they became very close, this group, and I don't know. I mean, she should make sure Derek's on the jury because that would be probably a vote for her.
Yeah. But like, he's the only person that she could maybe beat. So, but she's not even thinking that way. She's not even thinking that way. She's only thinking right now, okay, we got to get the 6. And then after we get to the 6, then we have to get out Kyland. Those are the only things that she can compute. It's just frustrating and boring.
And does that go back all the way to when he like talked down to her when they were having that talk?
I don't know. I think she heard that he was coming for her or something, and she's like scared that he's gonna try to take her out. It's like nobody's really coming for you. Like, and Tiffany wasn't, but now Tiffany is like, well, we don't have Oz anymore, so she can go. Ooh. Okay, so Anna says, we could be Team Tiff and acknowledge the very serious flaws as fans. But I think it's because she's being put in this situation, right? She just wants to be able to play her own game, and she's just being shackled down by this agreement that she's made with people that she didn't know before 2 months ago that have commonalities of skin tone and maybe life experience racially, but like, and they collectively want to be part of like a big movement within the game, but it goes completely against what she actually came here to do. She came here to win some money. She did not come here to be part of the big movement. And I can understand her having to wrestle back and forth and make mistakes because she just wants to be playing her own game. She wouldn't have let Christian go. She wouldn't have let who's the other person? She wouldn't be letting Claire go. Spoiler alert, guys. Like she wouldn't be and Derek X. She wouldn't have let all those people go because those people were good at competitions and they were protecting her and they wanted to see her in the game and they strategized with her and they liked her and they wanted to be in this with her. The people that she's working with don't like her. They don't think she deserves to be there and they want to get rid of her. And so I can understand her feeling like, man, I can feel that they don't want me to be here and I'm not going to win this game, but like, I just want to play. And I know that I could win if I just played my own game. So I just feel bad.
I think she got put into this situation where like the people that you're mentioning that she could have kept were all people that were wanting to play Big Brother. And she wanted to play Big Brother, but she's also tied to this group. And at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening, what it looks like is going to end up happening is
she's going next.
She should have stuck with those people that were going to keep her,
and just done cookout till jury.
Yeah,
that should have been perfect. And they would have gotten a black winner because it would have been Tiffany. Like. You know, they're playing a nasty game. Sadly, this game is the game. The game is the game. Yeah, that's the thing too, is that like, you know, they're doing something for a bigger cause, but then they're not even being kind about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, the fact how Derek F speaks about Tiffany, it's pretty rude and gross to speak to an older black woman like that. It's like she's older than him. It's just very disrespectful. And yes, they're playing in a game, so they're kind of all at equal levels or whatever. And she's not always, you know, minding her P's and Q's. But just the level of respect is just rude. Like, I would just like when I was in my 20s, I would never speak to a person in her 40s that way. Like, just never.
No.
No matter what they did, be like, oh man, yeah, she's, you know, you just always, you know, allow people that have had maybe different life experiences than you and they're older than you just to be who they are. And so anyways, it's just very frustrating. Kylan talks a lot, true, but he hasn't screwed one member of the cookout. Yeah, he did. He screwed all of them. In these last 2 weeks, in his goodbye messages, they made a pact that they were not going to be saying anything about the cookout to anybody. And to Derek X and to Sarah Beth, he mentioned that there was an alliance that's still in the house that started on day one that he's a part of. And unfortunately, she wasn't a part of it. And so that, I think, is screwing every one of the person in the cookout because he's allowing himself to look like he's like the only one that let them know the truth, when they promised each other that they weren't going to do so. So I think that's screwing people over. He did exactly what was needed, both of his head of households and got Sarah Beth to keep them as well. But last week, when Sarah Beth was up there and he was asking now to be having Hannah use the veto on him so he could come off the block and potentially save Sarah Beth, that also wasn't like 100% for the cookout. So I'm going to have to disagree. The Celebrity Big Brother wasn't that popular and got canceled after 2 seasons of it.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. I mean, I liked it, but yeah, I know that there wasn't. Actually, I liked it a little. I didn't like it like crazy. But...
So yeah, let's get back into this episode instead of me just ranting.
You're so worked up tonight.
I know. I need to let it out. It's so
come on, let the bubbles out.
So after, I don't know how long it was in the end, but Tiffany does win this head of household. Kylan falls, Tiffany wins, and everybody is pissed except for Claire because Claire really wants Tiffany to win. Tiffany is her girl, and this is good for Claire for now. So Kylan is so irritated by this. It's like, doesn't matter that much. Like, this is the thing that is frustrating about this alliance is that because it's like everything's a group decision, group this, group think, micromanage, like nobody can have their own autonomous thought. And that, I think, also is frustrating for Tiffany, who's been able to make her own decisions for 41 years of her life, or well, maybe not 41, but many years of her life. She's been in control of her own destiny. And for the fact that everybody gets to say what she gets to do probably feels a little bit oppressive. And she probably wants to be like, I want to do what I want. Like, I get that as well. And not everybody is really great at being agreeable and doing what the herd wants them to do. So the fact that Kylan is so irritated, it's just like, whatever, pivot. You guys are on this mission together. You guys know that Claire and Alyssa have to be the two next people. Okay, so this week it's Alyssa, next week it's Claire. It doesn't really matter. And little do they know, well, they do know because they've been like speculating that's going to be a double. It's going to be a double eviction anyways. And so there is a likelihood that they both go home in the next episode.
Right.
So who cares? Like, to be so angry about it, it's like, it's not that big of a deal if your mission is to get to the 6 only, without having any.
The only person in that I would understand why they would get upset just because he went on the block so many times
Xavier
would be X.
Yeah,
because he went on the block so many times. But again, they made this agreement, and he's not going anywhere. Like, I mean, they know this. All of them know they're not going anywhere, no matter what. And the goal was get rid of everybody else. And so there was no order set.
And it was her
not at the beginning.
It's her idea. And like, it's like coming back to haunt her. So Alyssa's crying though, because she was filed second. She's going to be on slop for the week. And she's like really over it. She can't do the fakeness. She can't do the one-on-ones. And I'm just kind of like, she's been complaining about this a lot. She's like, oh, I don't feel like doing anymore. It's so tiring. It's like, well, then don't be on this show.
Yeah.
Like, the show is a lot about laying around and then like having a ton of conversations over and over and over and over again until something changes, and then you have new conversations over and over and over again. That's Big Brother. Like, get off the show then, self-evict, like, whatever. I don't feel bad for you, Alyssa. So Xavier obviously is whining about it being the 3rd week in a row that he's going to be on the blog, even though the other one was chance and the other one was his own decision. But whatever. Kylan's talking to Tiff in the shower, and he's like kind of coming to her like, what happened? Like, why are you going against the plan? Why? And it's like, who cares? Like, if I was in a group alliance and like somebody, just as long as somebody from our alliance wins, that should just be enough, right? As long as they're willing to do what the greater plan is in its entirety. Like, if she's willing to put up Claire as a replacement, that should be enough for her allowed to take that position without having so much backlash. Like, chill.
How much of this do you think, though, is people are now, we're getting close to that stage, right?
Yeah, they want to set themselves up.
Positions, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're freaking out a little bit. And
they don't want Tiffany to be better positioned than them.
Right. And this, like, I mean, obviously they were under the impression that something different was going to happen. And it happened. So do you think like this is now like a chain of events where they're like, Tiffany's got more going on than she's letting us know? Like, she's already set up and good and she's making that move?
No, I'm thinking that they don't want Tiffany to pad her resume that much, or have her person at 7 that could potentially take out one of the 6 that wouldn't be her. So she's set up better and her resume is looking better. They don't want her to have anything on her resume so that they can beat her in the end, should she make it to the end. Even though, like, nobody has a chance against Tiffany. Even with this blunder, I don't think that anybody has a chance against her. So DF whining about his comp ability. Sorry, I said that in a flippant kind of way. I do feel a little bit bad that these competitions haven't been something that he's been able to excel in physically. So maybe they should reconsider than having a little bit more, anybody could potentially win some of these competitions. Anybody, any size. Like, maybe they needed to make those disc spaces a little bit bigger so that, like, if you have bigger feet, that you're able to stay on a little bit more comfortably. Whatever, make some adjustments, like height wise and maybe like weight wise, so that everybody's going to have the same amount of ability. The wall comp and this one, these 2 endurance comps, yes, we've always said that body types, there's certain ones that are going to be better for them, but his body type is not good for a lot of these competitions that have been physical.
And the balance beam one as well wasn't like, I mean, so there's been a couple balance ones, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I know that they do that and because they need them to be quick challenges, or I don't know. But Could it have been something strength? Could it have been like, I know it's not balanced, but could it have been like hanging like they
hanging?
used
He wouldn't
to
have been
do?
able to do. I don't think.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do. All right.
But like, what about pushing a button?
Right.
Like, or the pressure cooker from season 6. Yeah, like,
that's true.
That's something.
Well, we're gonna have a lot of trivia, right? We're gonna have a lot of trivia. We're gonna have that like find stuff in the ball pit thing on Thursday, right? Like for the veto and the usual double eviction.
The veto is gonna be it's the tiny veto. So it's the one that Davon won last season. That's what the veto is this season.
Sorry. I meant for the double eviction.
For the double. Gotcha.
Like we're going to get all those like true or false before and afters and find the things in the ball pit.
Right. The clown shoe, right? Like Jeff. So Azza's so upset also because she's put her personal game aside. I'm like, you know what? She did not put her personal game aside, like she's saying when she was like going to bat for Brittany, like completely going to the bat for Brittany because it was better for herself in the game. Maybe not strategically, but she didn't want to have to deal with Brittany like being upset, and so she was like always trying to, have Brittany not go up on the block and all this stuff. And that was for her. It wasn't for the cookout, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, for the third week in a row, something, I don't know, it's probably, it's Xavier's complaining to her. He's just getting shafted. He's getting shafted. It's like, do you know what, Xavier? You are the one that threw the competition, okay? So don't be upset about the decision that you decide to make. You are making these decisions. You blame yourself. And you're still going to get...
Well, I think, though, in truth, like they... because I'm getting the vibe that they really are upset, but like, say that you're upset. Don't be so upset about it. The game's going on. Let Tiffany put herself into a bad light. Like, I mean, talk about being upset, but don't really be upset about it. Like, I mean, really you're getting to the point where like, get people to be on your side about things, but like, don't take it to heart. Like, I mean, you're playing.
He's literally not had one conversation since it happened that wasn't about slandering Tiffany. That's all he's been doing. That's it. Wow. That's it. So, then I write Xavier complains to Tiffany. And in his confessional, he's like, well, just like give me some reasons just to ruin your game. Like, I just want to ruin your game. I was like, okay, Xavier, ruin her game. It's fine. Like, hopefully you don't win. I'm so over him. We get to Tiffany's head of household room. Derek F is faking it because he doesn't want to be there because she wasn't supposed to have it. It was supposed to be him or Azza to be having this moment. I think Xavier said that. It's like, well, Derek F was never going to have that moment because he wasn't able to stay out longer than 60 seconds. Like, so that moment wasn't his. And if Azza stayed on for 5 more minutes, it would have been hers. It was 20 minutes, guys. Make it believable.
That was a mistake on their part. That was a mistake to pull that like attitude in the room and to leave early and let other people hear it because, you don't know. Sometimes little things like that are the things that turn people, right? Like, oh, you're not interested in my life?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that could turn people.
I would just clock that in a second, being like, okay, you guys don't care for me at all right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So... yeah, and then they're like, oh, but if it was Kylan, it would have been fine. Because like he's like, oh, stole that moment. So Kylan completely gets absolved for the fact that he didn't drop either. Like, because she stole the moment from Azza and Big D. What about Kylan? He stole that moment as well. He just wasn't able to outlast Tiffany. Anyways, and he would have had a 3rd head of household, but I'm sure like these men are fine with Kylan having 3 head of households instead of Tiffany having 2 or 1.5. So a lot of unselfishly this. I don't know. I wrote down unselfishly bullshit. I don't know what I was talking about. I'm just getting pissed off, I guess.
You're just getting so pissed. You're just writing things now. You're just putting words down.
Unselfishly bullshit. Derek F.
Big X on the...
Derek F, Xavier, and Kylan complaining. Blech. But Tiffany and Hannah and Claire are in the head of household watching them complain about her, which I was like, I thought that was a beautiful moment.
That was funny. That was funny.
I wish that, because wasn't it, what's his name? What's the guy's name that was the flight attendant? Brent?
Brent.
So Brent, like he reads lips. I wish that Tiffany reads lips so that she could like see exactly what they're saying. That would have been. She knew what they were saying, like on point. So when did this happen? Okay, so then we see a little moment of Alyssa trying on Tiffany's dress. I didn't know why that was happening. Who cares? But it was a nice dress.
Or Ozza's dress.
Sorry,
right?
yeah, Ozza's.
Yeah.
And then, so Tiffany wants to get to the final four with the four girls, which is what the four women should want to do. The fact that they had a lead, like they had so many men go out first, which has never happened before. They had so many more women than men. If a man ends up winning the season, that's another travesty that's happening. Like, so yes, you got the cookout to the end, but having a woman winner would have been nice. It really would have been a nice touch.
Yeah.
So Tiffany gets the pitch from Alyssa, and this is what Sophie was talking. Oh, yeah. So Alyssa's math was interesting, and she was kind of telling the truth with who Tiffany might win against in the final. Absolutely, I thought that it was a great pitch, and if in a normal game, Tiffany would have like agreed with this and probably made these certain different changes. Like they wouldn't have been in this position if Tiffany wasn't playing for the cookout. And this would have been a pitch that she definitely would have taken into consideration, being like 100%, let's go to the end together. Me and you, final two. Like 100% she would have been doing that. So it's just because of the cookout that she's not able to really take into consideration some of these great plans that people have.
I was actually impressed because I know that at the beginning of the episode, Alyssa said she wasn't going to do anything. That was probably, for this season, one of the best pitches that has been done this season by anybody.
Smart.
It just sucks that that's not.
It doesn't matter.
Again, we're not. They just don't have the memo that that's not what this is this year.
The season's not about this game.
Don't worry about Big Brother this year. We'll be back next summer.
You're just a placeholder just for the 6 to get to the 6, guys. Sorry. And it says, yes, the cookout has met very little resistance. It's been them versus them. Absolutely. They don't even like each other, but they're all there for the common cause. The goal is to get to the final 6. And I feel bad because Tiffany has 100% played the best game. And even if she does make it to the 6, she's most likely going out 6th. So Sam said
I would say, we should say that the cookout, honestly, they picked the right people to eliminate early. Like from this game, because I think that they picked people that might have, for whatever reason, gone after people in that cookout, right? And so good on them. They picked the right people to get rid of.
They did. All the people that would support Tiffany, basically. Hi, Sam. Thank you for being here. So I haven't been keeping up, but if Tiffany gets voted out, that would suck, since she has orchestrated this cookout alliance pretty much. Absolutely. Well, they don't think that. The guys don't think so, but she really has. I'm hoping that with this terrible blunder that they might want to take her to the end and sit beside her. That's my hope, because she's just been, nobody's going to vote for her because she's a horrible person, and then everybody votes for her. That's my ideal. Maybe Ozza doesn't have a desire to help Tiffany win the game. That's true. She's never liked the way that Tiffany played from day one. That's possible.
Yeah, I've got that feeling too.
But she doesn't really strategize with anybody. She's like, oh, do we have to talk about this? We don't have to do that. She doesn't want to play. Christian loved Tiffany like a mom. Yes. Hi, Eddie. Thank you for being here. She did. Nika. And she's done so much for the cookout. I know. I feel like we're doing a Tiffany vigil, like you said.
Vigil. That's right. Let's light some candles.
Derek F is so rude, and he's literally done nothing. Oh, we had a little bit of a rant about that already. But yes, he's done nothing, and he has so much to say. Yes, Derek F has done a great job in terms of painting Tiff as a villain in these backroom convos. Tiff needed to cut him. She will live to regret. Yeah, he's going to... Very true. Kylan is a snake, too. Yeah, I don't think he's a snake. I think that they're all just trying to play the game, but they're having a trouble wrestling between playing the game for themselves, because it's an individual game, and playing for the cookout. It's challenging. Xavier has a huge incentive that to behave this way, to behave the way that he is. From all perspectives, Tiff is being outplayed simply. I guess.
I mean, in some ways, I kind of feel like she outplayed herself this round. And this is true. that comment was true.
I'm so mad.
And loving every minute of it.
Threw me off the rails. Okay, so what I think about Derek F complaining and not winning anything. Natalie, that's what is the most annoying about him, is that he's acting like he is God's gift to this game, and he's literally done nothing but move from laying down to sitting up to laying down. Like, that's all that he's done, and then complain about people and being messy in the kitchen, and then complaining about like anything that Tiffany does. So, we haven't gotten there yet. It's just I'm just over him. Like, he people think that he's really entertaining. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's because I already am annoyed by him that I can't find him funny on the show, but I'm not vibing with his like antics. Do you find
I just
funny?
don't really feel no, I mean, I just don't understand what the funny moments are because I haven't seen them. Like his moments are just sort of him, I don't know, sitting on the couch and laying down. And he won Big Brother bucks. America loves him.
He started the fire in the kitchen. I'm just kidding, but like
he didn't even do that.
Well, he kind of did.
Well, sort of did. Sort of, yeah. Oh,
so,
geez.
and it says, yes, Bill, they are positioning for the Cookout Civil War.
I would love for them to get to the 6 and then we get to watch what happens. Like that would be popcorn moment of the season, right?
But like it would only be popcorn moment for me if Tiffany wins.
If Tiffany
the finest 6 head of household, puts up friggin' Xavier and Big D, and one of those two mofos went home. Hi, Ben. Today is a hard day. I love Claire. Yes, we love Claire too. Derek F knew that he was a big guy before entering the house. Absolutely. And if he's watched the show, you'd know that he's going to have some of those competitions that he wasn't necessarily going to be physically capable of doing well in. Derek F was always going to rely on his social game. He's not a physical and not smart. Brutal. He thinks he's a genius. Derek F did not win the mental comps either. I know. So it's like, right, BB? Like, comment. Oh, like, come on. You've been big. Exactly. Like, you've been big all your life. You need to learn how to change your game up. And so if you know that you're not going to be able to compete in these physical things, like, maybe use that being like,
excel in the other ones.
Exactly. Like, I've never seen him study yet. I don't even know what he's doing. I don't know. Derek F could have won the shuffleboard shark mouth comp that Kai won, but he didn't. Why didn't he? Was there a reason, or like he just wasn't good? Let's not act like you haven't had a chance. It may not be the physical comps, but they've had mental comps too. It's true. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and trust me, suck in the physical ones too. I'm not like I know.
I know. I think I would have lasted in some of like the wall ones. I would be okay. I think.
Yeah.
And the beam ones, I would have been fine. Okay, did Derek F expect production to change the game and tailor the comps for him? Probably.
Yes.
Because he thinks he's the star of the show. Anna says, yeah, the only way Derek F wins is if somebody throws it to him. Yeah, they're like, you didn't throw it to me. You didn't throw it to me. Like, that's not this game. It's not throw comps to the people that you want to win. Like,
yeah,
that's so frustrating. And or fluke. These two situations could happen. He put no work to get someone to throw it to him. Exactly. It's just annoying. Derek F is dealing with some ego and daddy issues. Let's call it what it is. Mm-hmm. Yes, Phil, the little things turn into big things. Hi, Victoria. Brent, yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Alyssa had a great pitch. Yep. I definitely thought that if she was in a normal season, that pitch would have worked. I think a black man or woman winner is equal.
I'm good with, well, we haven't had a black male winner.
And we haven't had a female,
like to see that
black female winner either.
Well, we did in the celebrity one. In the celebrity
one, there was the most black people on that season ever. So
right. They finally like put right people on the cast there,
right?
But I agree. I would love to see either. I think it's equal. And it's happening.
I want to see a
It
woman
is
win
happening.
because who were our last winners? We had Cody, wham. Before that, we had
Yeah.
Jackson. Bleh. Before that, we had, I guess Casey was before that.
Casey.
And then it was Josh. Bleh. And then it was Nicole F. Oh. And then 17 was Steve Moses.
This is fun. Steve.
Oh, and then
no.
it was like Derek F. Sorry, Derek F. Derek L. And then who's before Derek L?
Andy.
Oh. And then what's 14 was Ian. I liked Ian as a winner. I would have preferred Dan that season, though. I think he deserved it, but that's the cards he was dealt. Yeah. 13 was that Jordan or was that
that was
Rachel, and then Jordan, yeah. And then who's 11? Oh, then
Hayden, then Jordan.
Then Jordan, then Dan, then 9 Adam. 8 Evil Dick, 7 Mike Mullen, like all these, like half of them are like terrible.
Honestly,
people.
Most of the winners end up being like people you're like, maybe you have to not be that great of a person to win this game. I don't know.
Okay, we might as well finish it since we started it. So then 6 is Maggie.
Maggie.
5 is
Drew.
I hated what he did to Diane, so whatever. I mean, but he was playing the game.
Oh,
but
have you heard about Drew? You need to go research about Drew's life since Big Brother, because he went off the map, and there's so much story there. Like, ooh. There's stuff, and you're like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's a project for you.
Thank you. I will. So 4 was June. 3 was Lisa. 2 was Dr.
I like Lisa.
Will.
I like Danielle. Dr. Will.
Well, they were doing it right in the beginning, and then they just everything started to go wrong. So, yes, equal in the sense that for the cookout, yes, man or woman, but I really prefer the women of the cookout over the men of the cookout at this point. I do not want to see a Derek F win. The way that Xavier has been talking these last few days, I really do not want to see him win. And Kylan, I could see him win maybe, but I don't know if he could. So yes, Elizabeth's pitch was logical, concise, and reasonable. Wow, reasonable. Ron's here. Hi, Ron. Free Brittany. Yeah, free him from the jury. I don't want to. Do you want a jury segment? I don't. Men, enjoy the sausage fest running Big Brother. Yeah. All DF does is eat, sleep, and bleep. Enough of the sausage fest. I know, Ron. I feel like Hannah is in such a good spot, and I hope she wins. Hannah's in a very good spot right now, and she can't necessarily win against a lot of people. Maybe Ozza and Big D are the people that she could most likely win beside. Maybe Kylan, but definitely not Tiffany or Xavier. But I'm hoping that she thinks that she can win against Tiffany with this bad week of hers. And so maybe she will fight to keep Tiffany in.
She was the one this episode, the most that impressed me from the cookout, because she was just like, who cares? It's good for my game. Whatever happens here, like, it doesn't matter. So, and that's right. Like, if you're not the one making the decision and it's going to screw up somehow, good. Let somebody else make a mistake.
Game. It's fine. Like, let her do it on her own. So after the pitch, Tiffany ends up doing her noms. I love her doing her noms in her robe. I mean, I'm a robe girl. Whenever like my best friend would be visiting because she would be filming a movie or a TV show or something like that, and she'd get put up in a hotel, we would go. I'd stay with her at the hotel, and we'd like wear robes and do face mats and like sleep in like comfy beds at fancy hotels. Love that. So I love a good robe moment. And so she does the noms. We're not surprised by them because it's going to be Xavier again and Alyssa. So Xavier in his last, in his last confessional, he's like, he doesn't know if he's going to play friendly or completely ruin Tiffany's game. Like, I'm just like, no, don't, like, who cares? Like, just think of it like, oh my God, this is great. This is great that Tiffany has messed up, kind of like Hannah did, and just be like, okay, how can I use this to my advantage? Like, without just sounding so nasty and bitter all the time. It's like, she did it to herself. Who cares? Why do you need to talk about it so much? Maybe Big D is waiting on a pie eating contest. Terrible. Have they ever done that? I wonder if they should do like a gross food challenge, like where they make those like
when they
smoothies.
used to do the food challenges, yeah, they did do a pie one.
Yeah,
I remember
pies
that.
in the face.
Yeah, those were good. There was pies in the face challenge. I think that was in the first All Stars, and then there was a gross food eating challenge, and they made pies and there was stuff inside them. I remember that.
I'd watch that again. BB agrees that Hannah definitely has a good chance. Tamar is the winner we all deserve.
I love
Tamar.
She was awesome on Big Brother. Yeah.
All those winners, Chantele. That's what I'm saying. The series has been a steady decline, like Derek F sliding into the laundry of the OTEM crash and burn. Oh my God.
Wow.
Run! You've been waiting to use that one. Thank you for that, though. That's harsh. Harsher than anything I've said.
That's harsher than maybe you tonight. I don't know.
Hannah and Tiff have played the most admirable games. I know. Kai and Xavier need to do the dirty antics to get there. That will turn live feeders off. The nicest people don't win. That's true. Yeah, Xavier's probably going to win this game.
Oh, then I win the draft.
No! In our draft, who do I have left? I have Claire and Kylan and Alyssa. Oh, actually. But
you're doing well.
Most likely, though, I'm going to lose 2 of those on Thursday. So Nanika says, LOL, it felt like she was rubbing it in with the robe, but I love it. I mean, she did her last one with the robe. That used to be like a trope in the old days. They all used to be doing their nomination with a key spin, and they're always wearing the robe. I like the robe. Come on.
Marcellus loved that robe.
It's so cozy. I love robes. They did BB3. Did on BB3 Legendary.
Oh yeah, the pie. Yeah. I think that was the pie one. I think it's a
gross food. She's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess now that we've gotten to the end of the episode, we can talk a little bit more in depth about some spoilery stuff that's happened. So if you don't want to hear what's gone on in the, before the actual episode on Wednesday, we'll say sayonara. Thank you for being here and joining us. But chances are you want to hear about the spoilers and talk about them. So, spoilers. The worst possible thing that could happen on Tiffany's head of household reign that she wasn't supposed to get, that people didn't want her to have, that she knew the consequences for, even when she was deciding to win. And that was Alyssa winning the power of veto.
We are going to have a TV moment.
You know what? Taryn was saying this in the update today, and he was like, do you know what, though? As Claire, like she, as a super fan, she will rather have gone out in this fashion where it's like her closest ally is putting her on the block and sending her home in a moment that's going to end up being an epic moment. It's like, what are the epic moments of BB 23? And it's like, oh my God, right. When Tiffany had to turn on, because I'm going to cry, Claire, turn on her ally for the cause, even though it was going to be to a detriment to her game. Like, that is a moment. And instead of Claire, like next week being taken out by Xavier. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this is a super fan's way to exit the game. You want to be exited in like a double eviction. You want to be taken out in a back door. Like, you know what I mean? As a legend of the game, where it's just like, man, I couldn't do anything about it. Like, it's just epic fashion.
This is a real blindside, right? Like, Claire doesn't, like, from what I know, like, I don't know what's been happening for the last couple hours, but from what I know, Claire still doesn't quite know what's going on. I think somebody wrote that maybe they've had a chat, but this is going to come out of way out of left field for Claire. Like this is not something she's expecting. So
they've been talking a lot about like what they're gonna say to Claire. Like, why can't she just tell Claire the goddamn truth? Like, it's Alyssa's going to find out in 5 seconds. Yeah. Kylan has been telling everybody in his goodbye messages what basically is happening. Ozza also said like we're doing something that's like something even bigger for the cause or whatever. She said something that was insinuating that there was something going on, and so they've all, you know, alluded to something happening. Just tell Claire, tell Alyssa. And this is because I think greedy Xavier, okay, just wanted to just put it out there. He doesn't want Alyssa to know that he's been lying to her this entire game. So this is why I think that they're not telling Claire. It's because Xavier doesn't want to be in Alyssa's bad books.
This has been my favorite podcast of the season so far, because you are so amped up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, okay, so we're talking spoilers. Anna, so tell me something that I haven't. Okay, I saw only before I went live. I saw that Tiffany did tell Claire what was going on, told her like maybe that there was like an alliance or some sort. She didn't specifically say the cookout or who was in it, but she told her something, and Claire took it really well. And they're like, Claire was crying and they hugged. That's all I gathered and saw before I went online. So if you guys can enlighten me a little bit more as to what has gone on. And I honestly love Claire so much, though. I know she's not going to make Tiffany feel bad about this, which is like so heartbreaking that she's such a good friend that she knows that she wouldn't be doing this if she didn't have to do it. And it's so sad. It's such a sad moment. This is like the most emotional I've gotten this season. Or maybe I did for Derek X as well. Sad.
No,
it's sad.
No.
Yeah, she knows now.
Because they've been a good team. And yeah, you know, it just part of what this agreement to what this thing is that they've made. And it's interesting. It's going to be interesting next week because I mean, what's going to happen? Because I know the double elimination's coming this week, and we're assuming
the problem is with
unless
this double,
Alyssa wins.
Well, the thing is, though, nobody wants to win this one, so they're all going to throw it to Alyssa. Well, like, our Big D is supposed to win, but like, can we rely on that? No. And if Big D wins, then he's still going to put up Tiffany. And maybe Tiffany will end up going home. You know, Alyssa wins the veto again, and Tiffany goes home. So Anna says, of course, as X should, it's why Tiff is being outplayed. I mean, this is the problem is Tiffany wouldn't be outplayed if she didn't have to be thinking about the cookout, right? Like has split focus, and she's not able to read the situation as well as she could if she was just playing her own solo game. But because she's like, she doesn't get along with these people, they don't have the same intentions, they don't like each other, and yeah, they're coming for her, but like she can't do anything about it because she has to play with these people because it's for the cause. And so I can't really say that she's fully getting outplayed. I think that the cause is outplaying her because she's not able to do what she wants to do.
Well, yeah, I guess the outplayed part is I still kind of feel is on her because she made this group.
Yeah.
Right?
She did make it.
And so at the end of the day, I mean, she's made a group that's fantastic, wonderful, made it based on the cause, and that's going to be the reason that she's going to go. It's because this thing became too powerful.
It came bigger than her. So Tiffany and Claire had a teary chat. She mentioned she cannot put a Black person up, okay, which was to me was admission of a Black agreement amongst all the Black people in the house. And you know what? I think I'm very thankful that at least she said something that was truthful. That I'm happy because like I didn't like these lies that they're trying to figure out to tell her. Like she's gonna find out as soon as she gets an exit goodbye message from Kylan anyways. Like I'm happy that she's just like, I can't put a Black person up. I'm sorry that I have to put you up. I can't do it. And Claire's gonna understand that. So I'm happy that she said something that's like close to the truth. clearly points to a cookout's existence. Yeah, which is fine. I'm totally fine with it. I think that she should be able to say something. But and it's true that she's like she can't put a black person up and not saying she didn't say like, hey, we have an alliance that's going on. It's been starting since day one. Like she's not saying any of that. She's just saying like right now I'm handcuffed. I already have one black person up, but I can't put another one black person up. I can't have a black person go up on my HOH. Like that's something that I think Claire can understand regardless of whether or not it's the full truth. I think it was enough. And I don't think it was a full admission. So they were probably going to blame her for that anyways, but I think it was valid for her to say. Oh, it was too sad. It was so sad. Oh my God, I'm going to watch it back. I'm going to go back and look at it. What, if anything, could Tiffany as head of household done differently? Not win. Not win, but she wouldn't have been necessarily in a better position.
As HOH, yeah. Made the move.
If she didn't win, it would have been Kylan.
Yeah.
It would have been probably, well, it would have been Kylan. Tiffany and Claire would have gone up. Claire would have gone home because Alyssa would have still won the head of household or the veto, most likely. Because Claire's bigger, and like if these tiny tweezers, like I don't know, I just don't see Claire being great at that. Yeah, Claire would have gone out anyways. So do you know what? This is just probably what was just meant to be, because like the universe orchestrated for her to still go home, even if Tiffany tried to save her for one more week.
In some ways, this is like you were saying. This is a great gift in some ways because Claire's elimination is going to be remembered.
Absolutely.
A lot of these other people are going to be like gone, and this now is going to be remembered. So
going down
as much as it sucks for Claire, but going out as a friend fashion. Yeah.
She's like it's the most memorable that I can think of in the last however many years.
Yeah.
Tiff being the one to get Claire out is unreal. With Alyssa being set up to do X's dirty work, Tiffany has an uphill battle to the end game. How does she get out of this on top? She has to win, or Hannah has to win, or Kylan has to win.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to win, or she has to win that fucking veto. Tiffany, like win the veto and start winning and taking out people. Like take out Xavier. Don't save him. Take him out. Take out Derek F. Like take out these people that are coming for you. Don't save them any longer because they will not hesitate, Tiffany. So, but she just has to keep winning. I'm hoping that this second win will give her that rejuvenation. I mean, like I can win these things. So before she's like, I don't think I can win stuff. What are you gonna say?
I think the person she needs to get rid of first, and it actually isn't because they argue or anything, but I do think that she needs to get Derek F out of that house. Because I do feel Azah would then be freed up and would probably be more likely to go that way because of her issues with Kylan. So I think she'd be more willing to work with Hannah and Tiffany. So, and then
that's who she
play
wants
off the Azah Tiffany Azah Kylan thing. Get rid of X, and then you've got a foursome there where people are going at. There's two going after each other, and you make that decision.
She just slides in there with Hannah to the end. Yeah. That's what her ideal situation.
Ideally, she should put herself in the end with Azah, I think, because she'd beat Azah for sure.
I think she doesn't like Azah.
Yeah.
Or doesn't like playing with Azah.
Yeah.
Without the cookout, Big Brother would never, ever, ever, ever have a black winner excluding celebrity. Yeah, I don't think that it would be very, very challenging for the at least when we're seeing with the cookout, there's a variety of personality types, and there's the lawyer, and she's a phlebotomist, and she's a student. There's different characters of black people instead of what the stereotype that they usually put in. It's either someone's going to be super religious, which both Tiffany and Azah do read their Bible and have God as somebody that they speak to and work with, which is totally fine, but it's not just the one black woman that is waving her Bible around as like a character archetype.
And they have not, I do not feel that the show this year has been about Azah or Tiffany's religion. Absolutely. The way that past seasons where,
Dominique,
Jamaica, there was the one who wore the bow tie.
I can't remember her name right now.
Yes.
J. So it's a J,
like,
I think.
yeah. So like they there was like time after time they would put that person in, and they'd really harp on their religion, where you would also have other religious people in the house, but their story wasn't about that. Like, yeah, so I'm happy that did not happen, but I am happy that we got to see different types of people in there, and they all came together. Like,
exactly.
Like that's amazing. It can work. Now, maybe what will be even more exciting, let's say a couple of seasons now, we've got different people of color in the house as well, and they all continue to work together, and you have a couple white people in there, you have a couple, and everybody is working. This is where we want to get to.
Ooh.
Right? Like, that would be wonderful.
That would be a social experiment. I'd watch that.
Oh, maybe we'll call it Big Brother 2000.
Oh. Meant to be. Tiff, what a queen. So sad. Anna, though, okay, let's be sad. This is just her humble pie that she has to eat. She decided to do something for herself, and she was willing to take the consequences. These are the consequences. Now she needs to bounce back. She needs to go. She needs to talk to Alyssa. Maybe say to Alyssa the same thing. Or maybe Claire will say to Alyssa, she said that she couldn't put up another black person. And maybe Alyssa will be like, oh, wait, maybe something else is going on. Maybe they'll start to talk about it, and Alyssa won't, if she wins, to specifically target Tiffany. Tiffany just needs to get Alyssa not to be targeting her anymore. That is her number one objective right now, I think, other than winning the veto next week. Those are her two things that she has to do. Get Alyssa on side, win the veto. Solid. Win or lose, Tiffany's lobotomy business will blow up. Yes. I wish millions of dollars for her. She's going to be super successful. She will start something. I want to talk to her about strategy. So I'm sure that a lot of people want to talk to her about Big Brother and playing these games. So she might even have a new career out of it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, and she's going to get America's Player, right? There's no way that I hope she does. She deserves it.
Yeah, she will. Her business is going to excel, but she also, I think she's going to get some, entertainment stuff. Like she's good. Yeah. People like her, even though like we've had our ups and downs with anybody on these shows. But I think on a whole, she is a really rootable player. Julie said Derek S+1 was God, and she did. Oh, Jesus. Jocasta, yes, thank you.
That's right.
I love you guys. Okay, maybe having the cookout would encourage future white players to work with future black players as a team. Well, or they might be scared to, but hopefully it brings everybody together and doesn't keep people separated. Because I know a lot of people have been like, isn't it racist that they're not like that they're targeting the people that are not in the cookout? And it's just like, I can't even explain to you guys how it's not the same thing. But hopefully it will just make everybody work together. But that'll probably still take a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed. Derek X gets America's Player.
Oh, that's probably, that could be true too.
Tiffany might. It depends on what happens. Tiffany still might, because people might be like feel like she fell on her sword of a really good game for the cookout. So less deserving.
It's good. Yeah, we'll see what the next couple of weeks have. Who knows?
Cookout's innovation, the big secret alliance, not even the race thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for listening to me rant here. Got that out. Yes. I was just like watching that show, just boiling up in anger. I was just so mad. So thank you guys, honestly, for being here. You guys are the best. Love chatting with you as well, Phil and Ron, you silly bugger in the comments, and everybody else that's in the comments. We love you. And BB, Nika, sorry, Lorenzo, Natalie, Ron, as I said, Sophie, Sheena, BB, Ben, and if I miss anybody, Sam, I still love you and so happy that you hang out with me and Phil on a Sunday, because there's a lot of people that are talking about Big Brother right now. So thanks for having the convo with us and allowing me to rant incessantly.
Definitely. It was fun.
It was fun. Phil, what do you have going on that you want the people to know about, if anything?
Oh, well, I'm going to be resting after tonight's podcast because this felt like a therapy session tonight. I don't know if Jonathan and JoJo get this.
Have I had one of these? I don't know what them. I feel like you only get them.
Oh, I don't know. Not much. It's the final week for Australian Survivor. If you've been watching, watch it. If not, go to the beginning. It's been a good season. Very interesting, different kind of season. So it's been
Did
good.
you watch any of South Africa or no?
Yeah, it's been good
Your
too.
update? It's so good.
I haven't watched the last episode. I don't think so.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's been good.
It's a very good season.
Interesting characters.
I love everybody.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Santini. Like, I love you, Santini. So love you guys. Thank you for being here. It's always a great live with me. Thank you, Nika. It's always a great live with you as well. And you guys know the drill, but hopefully anybody that's watching that's new, please subscribe. Help me get that YouTube plaque. That'd be so cool. Like, literally, like, so cool. I would love to have like a little plaque over here from YouTube. That would really make my day. So thank you guys for subscribing. Please like this video. What do we want you to comment about? Maybe comment about, do you want to see Tiffany out next week? Or would you rather see Tiffany get it all together and get to the end and win this thing? Where are you feeling? Do you dislike or like Tiffany? Let us know in the comments, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.